26-year-old man is behind bars for fatally shooting a 23-year-old woman over the weekend. At 12:39 a.m. on Saturday the 17th of June, authorities responded to the 100 block of Boulder Drive in Franklin, Ohio, where they found a woman with multiple gunshot wounds. First responders attempted life-saving measures but were unsuccessful, and she was pronounced dead at the scene. The victim was identified as Caitlin Puckett of Lebanon, Ohio. During the investigation, authorities identified Elijah Thomas as a suspect, who fled the scene on foot after fatally striking the victim. At 9:42 a.m. that same morning, police located Elijah driving in the city of Franklin. Authorities performed a traffic stop and arrested him without incident. Police said that Elijah is from Hamilton, Ohio, but has ties to the Lebanon, Ohio area as well, but did not disclose what those ties were. Elijah is charged with murder and felonious assault and is held at the Warren County Jail on a $100,000 bond. He's set to appear in court on the 20th of June. The motive in the attack is unclear, as the investigation into the matter continues. A pregnant woman and her unborn child have died after she was shot by a 2-year-old son. At around 1:30 p.m. on Friday the 16th of June, authorities responded to a home along Woodlawn Avenue in Norwalk, Ohio, after 31-year-old Laura Ill called 911 to report that she had been shot. When police arrived at the residence, they found Laura behind a locked door upstairs with a gunshot wound to her back. Laura and her unborn child were pronounced dead shortly thereafter. Police said that Laura and her toddler son were the only ones at the home at the time. Norwalk Police Chief Dave Smith said there's just no words. The specifics on how the shooting happened is yet to be determined. The detectives are taking a good look at it, he said. 26-year-old Donovan Hartzell is behind bars after a security home camera caught him shaking and hurting his 4-month-old infant daughter over the weekend. At around 10:35 a.m. on Saturday the 17th of June, authorities responded to a home in Safety Harbor, Florida, after receiving a report of child abuse. The baby's mother, who was not home at the time when deputies arrived, told them that Donovan was seen on a camera inside the home shaking and hurting the baby. When law enforcement went inside the home, they found Donovan in a bedroom and the baby lying on the bed crying. Authorities said the infant had visible red marks on her face, neck, arms and chest. Authorities said that a video provided by the mother confirmed that Donovan held the baby by her shoulders and shook her vigorously back and forth. Donovan then put the baby on his lap while she continues to cry, and then he starts to aggressively rub a blanket in her face. Her child was taken to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Donovan was arrested and charged with child abuse and remains held at the Pinellas County Jail. The investigation into the matter continues. 33-year-old Brittany Holbrook is behind bars after fatally shooting her 30-year-old boyfriend Tyler Nullich. At 2:45 a.m. on Saturday the 17th of June, authorities responded to a house at 491 Avenue F in Big Copper Key, Florida after the couple's roommate Jordan King called 911. He told the operator his roommate Tyler was in bad shape and is hurt really bad, and there's a lot of blood. When deputies arrived, they found Tyler on the living room floor, covered in blood with a bullet wound to his lower back. Deputies saw a handgun along with a spent shell casing on the floor. Tyler was unconscious but breathing, and he was rushed to the Lower Keys Medical Center, but he died an hour later. Jordan told investigators that he, Tyler, and Tyler's girlfriend Brittany had been drinking earlier, and that all three went to bed before he was awakened by a scream. He ran to the living room and found Tyler on the floor bleeding. When he asked what happened, Tyler reportedly said the bitch shot me in the back. When deputies questioned Brittany, she said she initially said there was a gap in her memory. She said she remembered going to bed, but the next thing she recalled was being in the living room holding her boyfriend, who was covered in blood. A little later, she said she recalled waking up in the bed and Tyler strangling her. She said she didn't know how she got away, but remembered him strangling her a second time and pushing her up against the bathroom wall. She told detectives that while Tyler was strangling her, she struggled to breathe, so she punched and scratched him. While detectives saw bruising on her knuckles, they did not see any sign of strangulation on her throat or in her eyes. She said that she had not fired a gun since moving from Stuart, Florida over 9 months ago. Brittany was arrested and charged with murder. She remains held at the Monroe County Jail. A woman was arrested after she went for an early Sunday morning stroll naked. At 6:36 a.m. on the 18th of June, authorities responded to the 700 block of Keck Avenue in Evansville, Indiana, on reports of a female walking the streets without any clothes on. Police quickly located the woman, later identified as Roxby Babb, down the road at the intersection of Morton and Race Avenue. Roxy was handcuffed and transported to the Vanderburg County Confinement Center and is charged with public indecency. A man has been arrested after a mother of a toddler found a stranger sexually assaulting a baby in an upstairs bedroom. At 12:40 a.m. on Friday the 16th of June, authorities responded to a woman's home at Piqua, Ohio, after she called police to report the abuse. The man fled the residence after being discovered. Police developed a suspect, and by 12:30 p.m. that day, they arrested 34-year-old Jesse Hartman of Piqua. Jesse was charged with rape and burglary, and he's been held at the Miami County Jail. Police said additional charges could be filed. The investigation into the matter continues.